Communication is probably one of the biggest commodities when it comes to relationships. And in all my years of counseling and therapy, coaching, the number one thing that I have learned is that communication is key to being able to have a healthy relationship, a growing relationship, and to resolving conflict. And I can think of nothing better in February, the month of love, to talk about the power of communication in our relationships and in our everyday life. You know, I love the gift of talking. I love the gift of communicating because it's the way that we express our ideas, our thoughts, our creativity, our feelings, our hurts, and it's also the way that we hear from other people. You know, experts will say that the majority of our communication one to another is probably 80 to 90% nonverbal, with only 10 to 20 being verbal. So that means that there's so much going on our receptors, how we perceive, how we take things in, and what we give off to people when it comes to that big word communication and when it comes to our relationships. Well, probably about 2 years ago, I got a pair of AirPods. Those are those Bluetooth Apple headphones that go in your ears, but you can also talk through them. And also about the same time, I got a new car. And my car had that connection where you can connect your phone to the car, and you can also connect your phone to the AirPods. And from time to time, I'll be on a phone call, I'll have an AirPod in my ear, I'll get in my car, I'll start my car, and my car will try to connect to my phone, which will disconnect from my ear, which will want to try to connect back to my phone, which is trying to connect back to my car. And what's happening is that at the other end, the person who is talking has no clue that interference is happening and things are lobbying or vying for the actual control of the communication and the conversation that is going on. And I was thinking about this the other day. I was talking to my mom on the phone and I had the exact same experience. And by the time I finally got it connected to my car, she goes, "So, what do you think about that?" Which is just horrible words to hear at the end of a really important point that she's making. And I was thinking about that in terms of our day-to-day conversation with each other and about our ability to actually be present in a situation or in a relational moment with another person. You know, in the Bible, the greatest chapter about love happens in 1 Corinthians 13, where it talks about how you can speak in the tongues of men, you can speak in the tongues of angels, but if you have not love, then you're nothing. Then it goes on to say what love is, how it's kind and patient, and how it trusts and protects and hopes. And love is described as all these things. And what I did is I went back and I started to read through that love chapter. But instead of just saying love, I started to say the word like, when I love, I'll communicate trust. When I love, I'll communicate hope. When I love, I'll communicate protection. And it started to make me think about how in my everyday life and when I interact with people and how I talk to them, the importance of being present in my conversation with them and in my communication with them. And you hear this said all the time from relationship experts, but there's always things that are lobbying or fighting for our attention. It's fighting for our mental space. It's fighting for our emotional space. It's fighting for our needs being met versus hearing the needs of another person. And there's something that's so vital that the Bible talks about, and the fact that when you love another person, how you communicate to them and how you receive what they're communicating to you really depends on your ability to be personally responsible and personally stewarding yourself well and your love well. When I love, I communicate hope. When I love, I communicate value to you. When I love, I take time to steward my body language, my mental space, my words, so that I'm communicating to you correctly the value that you have for my life and who you are. Now, whether you're a stranger on the street or you're the love of my life, I'm called to love all people the way Christ loved those. And so that's an important thing for us to figure out. How am I being present in the world around me? How am I communicating my love, my respect, my hope, my honor? How am I able to do that when I'm in a fight with somebody? How am I able to do that when I disagree? And am I receiving those cues from the Lord, or am I receiving those cues from someplace else? I want to encourage you this month to take some time, with your spouse, your children, your coworkers, your best friends, your parents, whoever is important to you, even the cashier at Target. Take time to think about, how am I communicating? Am I using language, body language, nonverbal and verbal, as a currency of love in this relationship? Am I representing me well? And am I adding to this person's life and my ability to be present and love them and communicate that to them in a powerful way that they can receive? I hope this encourages you, and let's all take some time this month to think about those that matter to us, even strangers that we don't know yet, and let's steward ourselves well so that we're always managing the currency of communication, that currency of love, in a really healthy and respectful, loving way.